Back again.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. I see you, Teresa, and Peg.
I see and hear everybody.
Yay.
And
Let's
by the way,
get Eric and
by the way, Robert, I just wanted to say with all of the practice you did, it was so totally unfair. So much practice.
exactly.
Oh, never should have happened.
So let's wait for Valerie and Eric.
Okay.
You know, but I did want to start off by saying that, you know, of course I was nervous about this, you know, leading up to this, but I just feel just in the company of friends, and if we just talked freely, it would be a wonderful 30 minutes.
Agreed.
You know, Robert, mine went about the full, I think that we were all on, Valerie, would you say 45, 50 minutes?
Probably so, because I talked too much.
We had a lot to talk about.
I talk a lot.
Well, how do you not love that accent, right? Southern charm.
Me, that Southern one. I know. Sometimes I don't realize how Southern I am until I hear it back. I'm like, oh my gosh. Woo!
So hopefully Eric will get back with us.
Okay.
Okay, so does everybody have a piece of paper and something to write with?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll get Eric up to speed in a moment, but if we can do some origami and just fold the paper into fours. Hope Eric. Oh, there he is! Yay! Welcome, Eric.
Hey.
I did it with one hand.
There's always got to be a
If
show
you
off
could
in
get-
every group.
Woo!
If you could get a sheet of paper and just fold it into four, please.
Okay.
You guys are doing that real quick. So I'm Robert Ward. This is my 24th year of teaching in Los Angeles. I taught for 21 years in South LA, and now I'm in East Hollywood in Silver Lake. The same population of kids, 70% Title I school, lots of immigrant kids, and lots of developing readers and developing skills. Thank you, Peg.
Nice.
It's been a wonderful time. Yes, I've only been on Twitter about a year and a half, but I really would say only a year because it took me 6 months to figure out that there was something called a Twitter chat.
Yes.
Had absolutely no idea.
Yep.
I didn't know what any.
And actually, my next article for Edutopia is going to be about that and encouraging people to join Twitter chats and expand their PLNs.
Good. Good.
So if we could, this is my presentation honoring the whole child. If you could, in the upper left-hand corner, title it "Children Need Most from Their Parents." What children need most from their parents, and just number it 1 to 4. What children need most from their parents, and just the top 4 things. So if you could take a moment to fill that out, and then I'll go around the group and get your responses. 4 most important top 4 things that children need from their parents. And I think it's important to start with the parents and start with the home, because sometimes we neglect that, and that's, you know, really at the forefront of education is engaging and involving parents and really thinking of them as allies in education, partners in the nurturing of children, and really Okay, so would anybody like to start with their number one?
Sure. I put love.
All right, Eric put love. Melissa, what was your first one?
I put unconditional love.
And Peg?
Boundless love.
Ah, there we go. It's a love fest. Teresa?
I actually put security.
Interesting.
number three.
Okay.
That was my number 3.
That was my
Yeah,
number two.
that's
And-
what it was too.
Valerie, what was your number one?
I actually put basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, etc.
Okay. You can't do without that. All right, Eric, what was your number 2?
Attention.
Oh, nice.
Undivided attention.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes, I like the undivided for attention and the unconditional for love. Melissa, what was your number 2?
I said time and emotional support.
Okay. So I'm gonna put time with attention, and then great. Peg, what was your number 2?
I had trust.
Wonderful. And Teresa, your number 2?
I had positive language. I think word choice is so important, and that you feel, you get that positive interaction, with the parents.
I like it.
Positive. I've done this so many times with so many groups. I've even done this with my students. Can you talk a little bit more about that, Teresa?
I think I'm
What-
kind of leaning on my past experience, and
Mhm.
I didn't always have a positive relationship with my mother, and she didn't always have the nicest things to say to me. So I think just the way that we speak to children is so important, and it helps them kind of develop, their sense of self and their self-esteem. And if they're constantly hearing negative things about themselves, they're going to internalize that, and that's going to impact them.
And and that goes right into your articles about how language is important, Peg.
And Teresa, you're familiar with Peter Johnston, right?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out his book, Choice Words. I think you
Oh,
would,
yes. Yes.
Yep.
I've read that. Mhm.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect.
Great. And Val, what was your number 2?
Love. Love.
Okay. We got love across the board. All right, Eric, your number 3?
Feeling of security and safety.
Okay, so we've got 2 securities now. And Melissa, number 2?
I said what Teresa said. Choosing your words wisely and always being respectful.
Wow. Okay, and I like respect. I'll add that. Great. And Peg, number 3?
Mine was safety. So maybe that goes along with the basic needs part of it.
Mhm.
Sure. 3?
That was my feeling loved and cared for.
And Valerie, number 3?
I put attention.
Very good.
And last one, Eric?
Structure.
Ooh, nice.
Mm,
Nice.
mm. Definitely that, yeah.
It's a good one.
Melissa?
I said teaching them that failure is okay. That instilling in them that, whatever choices you make, succeed or lose, succeed or fail, it's okay.
Yeah, we move on.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah,
So,
keep moving forward.
Building resilience.
I mean, that resilience component? Okay.
Yes.
And Peg, your number 4?
My number 4 was empathy.
Very
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's that unconditional love, definitely. Teresa, your number 4?
I had a sense of belonging because we will not always share the same interests as our parents, or, you know, that regardless of who I am, what my interests are, that, you know, I will feel like I belong, you know, in the family or with my parents, that they'll accept the decisions that I make.
That, yes, that inclusion, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Valerie, your last one?
I put time. Time. Yeah. Quantity.
Time and attention.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, before we discuss that, I want to move to the upper right-hand box. 1 to 4. And I want you to change it to what parents need most from their children, because no relationship is one-sided. So what do you think the parents need from their children in return, or just, you know, basic sense, the 4 most important things that parents need from their children? And if you could jot down your 4 answers. And we're already at 8:34. I will totally understand if people need to get on with their day, because this was only supposed to be 30 minutes. So we will not go over an hour, though, I promise.
No, you're fine.
I'm good. I'm okay.
I'm good.
Okay,
too.
thank you.
I can stay out here all day.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, you can on that beautiful back patio.
Mhm.
I know, it is just, oh, the weather's just divine. Okay.
You're so lucky. It is humid and gross here. Don't even
Well,
want
it
to
could
go
be
outside.
like
Don't even
that.
go outside. It's only 10:40 and it's already like 75 degrees. And
Oh, I would love that. It's 50 degrees here.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
I love
see, I would
snow.
like to have snow. No,
Oh, no.
humidity. Always.
I love snow.
Okay.
I know.
Eric, will you start us off? What's the number 1 thing that parents need from their children?
Love as well.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, parents need okay,
Love.
so they need love in return. Got it. Melissa?
I said the same thing.
Mhm.
Love.
Okay. And Peg?
Love.
Wow. Teresa?
Okay, you know mine's going to be different.
Mine was too. So
Not being a parent myself, I'm kind of going off of what I felt that my parents needed from me. And I think that one thing was a connection to me. You know, I'm just very different, have very different interests. And I think trying to form that connection to me.
Great. Fantastic. Val?
so true. Well, I'm like Teresa. I first put respect, and I crossed it out and I put love and changed respect to my second one, because they're both so closely related to me. But you can have one without the other, I guess. You know, they can love you and not respect you. But
All right.
I don't know. I'm kind of still on the line.
It's not, the order really isn't important. It's just that, you know, if just condensing it to the
Right.
top 4. So I'll put love for your first one. Eric, what's your second one?
I put respect.
Okay. And Melissa?
I put appreciation.
Mhm. That's a big one, Melissa. That's a big one.
I think that they cannot, like when my kids are mad at me, they usually don't get mad at me. I'm the parent that's usually the mellow parent. My husband's more the disciplinarian. I'm more of the relaxed parent. But I always tell them, you can be mad at me right now. You can let your frustration out with me right now, but you have to appreciate, you know, the time and everything that I put into, you know, your life. And that's all I ask. Like, you can hate me right now. That's fine, because that'll change in a minute. But you got to continue to appreciate your parents, because what we go through on a daily basis is, you know.
Exactly. Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That's fantastic, Melissa. Thank you for adding that. Peg, what's your third? Your second.
Trust.
Okay. That you want your child to trust you.
Right. Absolutely. That I mean what I say what I mean, and we're in it together.
Great. And Teresa, you're number 2?
Mine was, I think, growing up just in the kind of culture that I did, it's that the decisions that your parents make, you have to be respectful of them. So even if you don't agree with them, those are your parents, and you should accept their decisions, good or bad.
Interesting. And Valerie?
Respect was my second one.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was, yeah, definitely.
Third?
A sense of gratitude for what.
Oh, well, there you go.
I
Reading Teresa's mind. Fabulous. Melissa, what was your number 3?
Mine was honesty.
Mhm.
That is very important to me with my kids. I'm like, I don't care that you have messed up and made a mistake and things have gone wrong. Tell me the truth.
Right.
I'll help you through it. I'll do whatever I can to help you if you tell me the truth.
Yes, and with that, what I've heard a lot also from parents and from kids is open communication.
mm-hmm.
Very
That-
important.
That's my number 4.
Not just lying, but I need you to come to me when you're hurting or you're scared or there's a problem. You know, don't hide that from me. I need that open communication. So that's major.
Yes.
Peg, what was your third?
My number, are we on number 3? Sorry, 3?
Yes.
Right? 3?
Yeah, we're on number 3.
Time and attention.
Okay, that they will give you time and attention.
Well, and here's my lens. I have a 26-year-old who, you know, when he needs money, that's when I hear from him.
Same here, Peg. Same
And by the way, he's married, beautiful home, lovely wife, but it's just funny how, so yeah, I would like him to spend time with me and hang with me, because what the heck, I'm pretty cool. He's not seen that quite yet, though.
I read the best article recently, Peg.
Yeah.
I actually Googled one on empty nest syndrome, and I'll send it to you.
I love it. Thank you, Valerie.
Empty nest. Oh
And
my gosh,
Teresa,
I'm so far from that.
In the blink of an eye,
Teresa, what's
Melissa.
your number 3?
Gosh.
My number 3 actually was time as well. Just, you know, because I'm kind of the unpredictable child, you know, that I might call and then you don't hear from me again for a month, or, you know, I might show up and then you don't see me again for a long time. So I think that time with us as we grow up and move out and move away, I don't live, you know, by my family. I'm a few hours away.
And Valerie, your number 3?
Trust, that they trust me, but kind of a reciprocal expectation there, which I know sometimes is, you know, from my past experience, they can trust me probably more than I trust. They trusted me probably more than I trusted them.
Right. Well, and when I talk to parents, I say that, you know, you want your children to be trustworthy
Right.
and trusting, so that it really is a reciprocal relationship.
Yeah. I think
Yes, Peg. I am keeping notes on our list. Okay, so
thank you.
number 4, Eric.
I put time, and I linked it with meaningful communication.
Okay,
Because you
great.
can't have meaningful communication without time with your children.
right.
I think that openness and that responsiveness, because responsiveness is so important with children. We don't want to be talking to, you know, a blank wall, or, you know, the, you know, adolescent angst and apathy that we sometimes get. And, you know, it's like they're over it, whatever we have to say. So I think that's really important. Melissa, what was your last one?
It's a weird one, I know, but believing in me. Because I think it is more than just trust. You gotta like know I'm on your side, and I think that's more than trust. I think that almost incorporates all of the other three together. Like,
oh my gosh! And when you said believe in me, I was going to add on your side, so I love it. Perfect.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Peg?
My number 4 is connection, respect. I kind of put those two together for 4.
Okay. And 4? Teresa, you with us?
Yeah, that was love. That was my
Okay.
love.
Love was your last one. What was your last one?
I put honesty.
Okay. There we go. All right. We are going to move on to the bottom left box. And if you haven't already guessed, what students need most from their teachers. Top 4, please.
Students.
You know, it's interesting because I've done these 4 boxes and these 4 sets of questions with a variety of different people, and anytime we have a dinner party, people have to do their 4 boxes before they get dinner. And you know, I didn't realize it until I started doing this, but it doesn't matter if you yourself are a parent or you yourself are a teacher. Been parented, and everybody has been taught. So, you know, we all can speak with a degree of expertise and experience about what we need and want, you know, in those relationships. So it's always very interesting to get these from different people, and especially doing something like this with your students is very eye-opening. Eric, are you ready with your first one?
Yeah. They need from us appreciation, respect.
Appreciation and respect. Okay. Melissa?
I put open-minded.
Ah.
Yep. Good.
Can you talk more about that, Melissa?
I think that when teachers are not open-minded, they put sometimes kids in rows. They have like this regimented way of thinking, and kids feel in a box. And I think if you're open-minded, and like me, everybody in my building thinks I'm crazy. I am not joking. They're like, that's the crazy teacher. Because I am constantly just doing the most bizarre things. But I think my kids need that, especially GT kids. They need to know that I will let them do whatever they need to do to show me their knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so open-minded. I'm like, do that. Yay. Because as long as they're learning, I'm all about that. Like, I don't care if you wrote me a paper or you drew it or you made it out of Play-Doh, or I don't care. Just learn something. And however you're going to demonstrate that to me is awesome. So I think that kids need to know that, you know, they have that freedom of choice.
Okay. So yeah, that I was going to put choice, and I put freedom and flexibility with open-minded. Peg, what do you have?
My number 1 is trust.
And Teresa? Teresa?
Oh, my turn. I have safety again, and I think emotionally safe, physically safe, academically safe. like hitting all of that. Like they just need to feel safe when they're with you and in your classroom.
Sure. And Valerie?
Respect. Respect. I think that's when students have talked to me in the past about, problems that they've had in other classrooms. A lot of times it boils down to they don't feel respected. So that's why.
Absolutely. Eric, what was your number 2?
Encouragement of building speech.
Encouragement what?
Upbuilding speech.
Oh, okay.
Uplifting.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Melissa?
I said to feel valued.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Peg?
Undivided attention.
Okay. Yeah, I always kind of say attuned and attentive, because I think when you just say paying attention, it's not it's deeper than that. It's really being attuned to their needs and then acting upon that. So I love that. Teresa, what was your number 2?
I said feel cared for, and I think that includes how we speak with them, how we treat them. Just that they feel that they're cared about when they're in our classroom, which includes respect and
along with that value.
all
Yes.
that.
Number 2?
It was the same as Teresa, genuine care and concern.
Okay. And Eric, number 3?
They need our dedication.
One more time?
Dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's great. Okay, and Melissa?
I put a safe haven, which basically encompasses what everybody's been saying. They come and talk to me about pretty much anything. And I think that's key to anything is relationships. So the more they feel safe, the more they're going to open up to you and learn, because they're not worried about everything else. You can kind of,
Okay.
help them get focused.
So I'm gonna steal that from you and use my alliteration that I'm so wedded to and say attuned, attentive, and accessible.
Yes.
Feel like they can come to you.
Yeah.
Peg, what was yours?
I had structure and routine within choice.
Okay. So that's the structure part, but then also the choice and freedom and flexibility and open-mindedness of what Melissa said.
Correct.
Teresa, what was your next one?
I said be themselves, and that includes, if I have a kid that has to sit on a yoga ball to pay attention, or if they need to hold something, or if they need to stand, or whatever it is that they need to be for learning, that we accept that and we provide them with that.
So kind of that differentiation also.
Mm-hmm.
And Valerie?
I put understanding and forgiveness.
Oh, wow. I think that forgiveness, that it's always a new day, is so important.
I think it's related to I think Peg said open-mindedness. I know
Melissa said that, yes.
Yeah, Melissa.
Yeah.
I know my dad said one time, why do you want to be friends with someone who's so narrow-minded? I mean, this is probably 30 years ago, and I thought, that is so wise. He was such a wise man.
Yeah.
And Eric, your last one?
I put a belief in them and also empathy, because sometimes I see, at times I work with, they have such a narrow view of the child. Maybe the child has they're lazy, and so they they convince themselves that the child will always be lazy, or because the child doesn't care about math, that child won't be successful in the future, and that's ridiculous.
Right.
You know, that's the labels and the language that Peg has been talking about.
You know, Eric, if I can just jump in here real quick, my daughter is autistic with some special needs, and we were told, and she's 22 now, or 21. Do you know in second grade we were already told she'd be in a group home?
Oh, yes.
Why would you tell a parent that in second grade that your daughter's going to be in a group home? So of course, you know, I go Mama Bear, and it's like, watched me. So I made sure that happened. Well, but I mean,
that's right.
Peg, I am
my
right there
brother-
with you. My son is autistic, and
you get it.
we had the same thing. He got pulled out of kindergarten because he kept just going in his pants, and they wouldn't get him to the bathroom fast enough. So they said he couldn't go to school anymore. So we had to take him out of school. Now he's a sophomore in high school, but he's still struggling. And they basically said the same thing. Oh, I don't know how he's ever going to graduate high school. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't label my child. So yes, I'm right there with you. Mama Bear comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and
I
as
can-
a special
I can
education
relate.
teacher, I see that a lot. I hear that a lot from unfortunately from my own peers, my own colleagues, limiting the kids, from teachers. My brother he's gifted in school, and he was that kid that challenged teachers, barely passed. And there's so many teachers that called home and would tell us that he was not going to really amount to much.
Oh,
And now the guy, he's doing great. He's he can do whatever he wants. And he chose to be an X-ray technician, and then since then he's bounced all around the healthcare business, and the sky's the limit of what this kid is capable of. But people told him that because he didn't want to turn in one project, that somehow they knew that he wasn't going to amount to anything.
yep.
Right.
I can't believe that.
Well,
Well, I can, yeah.
it's those labels and limitations
Yeah.
and, you know, the language that we use that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
empower kids or inhibit kids, and we've got to be all about empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
It's the power of words.
So,
Spoken word.
and now I don't know where we left off with who or what number.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Does anybody?
I think
Did
we
we
were
leave
on
off with Eric?
4. We left off with Eric, number 4. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Eric, your number 4 was what? Eric, your number 4 was what?
It was belief in them
Yeah.
/ empathy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Melissa, what was your number 4?
Mine was exactly what he just said, but then I expanded upon it and I said they need the real us. They need us to be genuine and real and honest, and that's, I think, what they're looking for. Is they're looking for the real person, not this facade that some teachers put on. But if they see us for who we are, then they're going to trust us, and everything else is going to fall in place.
Yes, and I'm gonna add to that, Melissa. Real, being sincere, being, you know, trustworthy, being accessible, but also expanding on that, and I think this is right in your wheelhouse, is that real in here's what I love, here's my passion, and just showing them a passionate, purposeful, dedicated person. And my passions do not have to become your passions, whether it's a teacher
Right.
or a parent, but living that passionate, excited, enthusiastic, charismatic life, it turns kids on. They realize, whoa, I want to find my authenticity also.
Yeah.
Empower them in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you, Eric. Yes. Saying you're sorry and
Oh yeah, that's
standing
huge.
in front of them. Like, I blow it all the time. Like, I am constantly like knocking something over, or the technology won't work, and the words "I am so sorry," you know, "I need help" is like the number one thing my kids think that is awesome. Is that all like, somebody fix this, and telling them that I don't know everything, and help me out. And again, being real and telling them the truth. Tell them the truth. I have no idea how to work this thing. Somebody come do it for me. And then they go,
Right.
So true.
"You're so funny, Miss CJ." You know. So yeah.
So true.
Right. Peg, what was your last one?
My my last one was love. And
Love and caring, absolutely.
But the reason I say that is because, you know, when I got into secondary education, I got into it because I loved Dickens and I loved Shakespeare, and damn it, my kids were gonna love them too. And it wasn't until I actually had students that I thought, oh my gosh, they're really cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. Teresa, what was your last one?
Mine was patience.
Yeah.
And that includes patience with everything. You know, I've had girls come in just in tears, you know, because they're having drama with friends or, you know, somebody's not getting something. So I think just having a lot of patience and, you know, especially working with, well, I mean, with little kids too, but working with teenagers, they're going through a lot right now, and a lot developmentally, socially, emotionally. And we have to be patient and understand that what's important to them is important to them at this moment in time. We need to respect that about them.
Yeah, and just honoring their feelings at the time.
Right.
Mhm.
Your last one?
I put that they need the best that we can give them daily. Even if I'm not feeling up to par, I, you know, feel like we still need to try to get in there and give them the best that we have each day.
Fantastic. Okay, we are fast running out of time, so we won't go over these responses, but you can surmise what the last box will be, which is what teachers need most from their students, the top 4. So if you just want to jot that down.
And Robert, I have to get going. So should I just go ahead and write up my 4, and if you guys want to keep discussing, you can?
Yes, and because I'm gonna wrap up right now. We're not gonna share those responses.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you guys the last box. So, I mean, what an amazing conversation and an amazing group of educators. So in my work with honoring the whole child, it's very much my of laughter and learning approach to parenting, my firm, fair, fascinating facilitator approach to teaching. And so just to recap what was said today, so as far as what children need from their parents and what parents need from their children, was big on the list: security, basic needs, safety, structure. I think we can all agree that kids do need some guidelines and guidance. They need some sense of security, structure, stability, and you know that there's somebody leading them that they can turn to for that structure. Leaving them completely on their own is not what kids totally need. There's a freedom component in it, but that they need routines and they need responsibilities. They need someone to give them responsibilities, to teach them those responsibilities. And of course, all of that is just leading to them being their own independent person.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, Peg.
Bye.
Awesome conversation,
Then
everyone.
The next component that was huge was the love, the attention, the time, the support, the trust, the positive relationships, all of that, the resilience, the empathy, the belonging, and then, you know, getting that in return from your children, and especially that appreciation that Melissa brought up that is also important. So all of your responses were weighted heavily in the leadership and love component. I didn't hear a lot, and it isn't that it's not important, but it's important to to bring up what didn't come up. And that laughter component, that
Yeah.
inspiration
Humor.
and engagement and humor, definitely.
Yeah.
That exploration and a sense of adventure and excitement. You know, as much as we talk about the routine and structure, there's got to be that freedom and choice and exploration and taking them to new places and new ideas. Yes, I know you're really into this, and I want to honor that, and I want to help support you with that. But have you thought about this, and have you tried this, and let's look at that to really expand their horizons.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting that didn't really come up, but you know, hopes and dreams and trying to help them discover their own passions, I think is equally important. So when you talk about the emotional component, the social component, but also what I call that soulful component, where they're really finding purpose and passion and meaning and direction in their life. Which really didn't come up at all in either the teacher or the parent discussion, which was that learning component and that facilitator component. We really were mostly talking about giving kids that leadership, that social development, that emotional development, that soulful development, but we didn't really talk much about instruction. And I kind of think that's amazing, because obviously we're all teachers. That's hugely important. Two of you are, you know, instructional coaches. So obviously instruction is near and dear to your heart.
Right.
Had we station 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think it would have been about standards. It would have been about rigor. It would have been about achievement. It would have been about grades. Would you guys agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed.
So I love that we brought out those components, but I'm so much about balance, and so much that instruction, that academic is really important. And instruction, academic, intellectual, because at home, yes, we want parents to be reinforcing, you know, those academic skills, but it's also teaching them to wash the car and teaching them to do the laundry and helping out with cooking dinner and giving them those practical life skills, because empowering, you know, we can think that, oh my gosh, my parents love me and I do have self-confidence. But if you can't back that with self-efficacy, that self-confidence doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
Teaching them responsibility. Yeah, it's huge.
So I'll just leave it at that, but I am just in awe of all of you. I think you all are awesome people, and because you're awesome, compassionate, caring, enthusiastic people, that makes you the most awesome parents and aunties and uncles and you know, whatever you are, and teachers. So, you know, I thank you guys so much for this, and I've learned a lot from you. I'm stealing your ideas, so I'll kind of gather them together and send you guys, you know, the common responses that we've all had.
Wonderful. I've enjoyed
Sounds good.
meeting all of you guys too.
Yes, it's been amazing. It's good to see you got your faces, not just a picture.
I know.
Yeah. You guys, thank you for
Everybody does look like their picture, which my friend Tammy Neal said is most important. Do y'all know Tammy?
Mhm.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yes.
But she said it's most important that we look like our photos.
So applause to all of you, hugs, kisses. Thank you so much, and enjoy your Sunday, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Sounds
Robert.
good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Robert.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank
Robert,
you.
look what
Bye-bye.
I have.
Ah.
It's on my to read pile.
Yay!
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Okay, good. Bye-bye, everybody.